husband's pregnant mistress showed up unannounced. I am still a virgin, and I'd given up my dream of having a family by agreeing to marry him. But I never imagined that my husband would betray me like this. Because the day he met me, he said,
"You remove the mask.
But I...
Do not tell me that you are cursed.
No, it's not that.
Besides, I am going to see you on our wedding night, so I find it only fair that I get to see your face now. Take off the mask."
Alessandra's only way out of her miserable life is to marry the Duke. But he'll only say yes if he sees her face. She's never shown anyone what's beneath the mask. What if he rejects her? Or worse, he dies. Alessandra was believed to be a cursed witch. Each time she removed the mask, disasters would strike their town. Once, after she removed her mask, one of their servants had died. So her family locked her up and abused her in every way possible. For 10 years, Alessandra spent her days like a prisoner. She believed only a powerful man could save her from hell. So when she saw Duke Collins, the most dangerous man on land, attacking her father at the party, she was desperate to meet him. So she sneaked out of her room and deliberately bumped into the Duke.
Party is inside.
I'm very aware of that, Alessandra. Why did you tense up when I said your name, like I shouldn't know what it is? Who else would be wearing a mask around the Baron's home with the rumored cursed daughter?
Haven't you heard? Her mother put a hex on the girl. Anyone who gazes upon her face dies.
Alessandra was quietly amused. For as long as she could remember, she had been outcasted, feared, and locked away like a secret in the dark. Yet here he was, speaking to her like she wasn't cursed at all. In that moment, it wasn't just his words that startled her. It was the way he shattered her loneliness.
Are you scared of me?
No, there are far scarier things in this life. Why should I be scared of you? All because of that mask?
Across the kingdom, some called him a monster. Others feared the power and endless lands he commanded. And yet, this cursed girl didn't even flinch. What was she really made of, he wondered.
Are you scared of me?
But he had no idea. He was the only man who dared to speak to her and not recoiled at her sight. She was just excited to be felt seen, so much so that she asked,
You are said to be married. Is that why you're here? For my sister, Kate?
I would rather die. No offense. None of those young women in there shall be my wife. They are all just like matching dolls in a set.
Now that Alessandra was certain he hadn't chosen a bride, she saw it. A perfect opportunity to escape the years of torment her father, stepmother, and stepsister had inflicted on her.
What about me? If I were to ask you to marry me, what would you say?
What none of you seem to understand is the sole fact that you would be setting yourself up for a loveless marriage if I were to pick you. I'm not interested in getting married. But then this godforsaken rumor got passed around.
Well, what if I don't want you to love me?
Most marriages these days didn't begin with love.
Alessandra knew only someone as powerful and dangerous as Duke Edgar could save her from the living hell she was trapped in. And the only way to win him over was to make it a business proposition.
What about a contract?
A contract marriage. I've never had a proposal like that before.
But winning over a man like Duke Edgar wasn't going to be easy. Alessandra realized that quickly. He was cautious, calculating, and he had his ways of testing people.
Did your father put you up to this?
But little did the Duke know. He was testing a girl whom time had already tested. And no matter how sharp his sword or pointed his threats, she wouldn't flinch.
Everything I say to you right now has nothing to do with my father. I leave it up to you to believe me. I'm not interested in marrying anyone for love. I only wish to leave this place and never look back.
The Duke paused. Could he trust her?
So then what is the plan? Does your father plan to marry you off to a man far older than you? Or does he plan to ship you off somewhere? I mean, it has to be pretty drastic for you to ask a man that you don't know to marry you.
With defiance in her eyes, Alessandra laid the truth bare, unpolished and bold.
It is suffocating to be here. I'm forgotten by my own father. I do not care about your looks, Duke Edgar, nor your money, nor anything the others might want. Frankly, I only see you as an escape.
Perhaps their meeting was unplanned, but Alessandra didn't want to leave without proposing what she had in mind.
I have heard my family speak of how the king wishes you to marry. For someone not interested in a romantic relationship, I might be a good choice. I will live quietly, like a ghost. I will do whatever you want of me, and I shall not love you.
It is not hard for me to find an actress to play the role of my wife.
If it were so easy, you would have done so already.
Edgar was beginning to like this side of Alessandra. Fearless, bold. He wasn't used to women who could turn adversity into opportunity, let alone use their wit to woo him.
If the king is toying with you, choosing a wife like me will certainly make him regret it.
The corners of his mouth lifted.
You're quick on your feet. And the rumors they say about you are false. You're not timid at all. You're smart.
You are said to be a monster, yet you seem human to me. I do what I must to survive. But if you're not interested in doing a contract with me, then I shall leave you be.
Alessandra thought this was it. She wouldn't beg, not even if he was her only way out. But her boldness didn't go unnoticed. The Duke had something to say.
Meet me at my residence tomorrow. We will discuss further details there, and then I will give you my answer.
As the Duke laid down his counter condition, it became clear. If this was to be her escape, it wouldn't be easy. But Alessandra's pride wouldn't let her back down. As their eyes locked, it was obvious. Neither would yield. Two strong-willed individuals, each with something to gain and neither willing to lose. This wasn't just a union. It was a battle of wills.
But I never leave here.
I gathered that much from all of your sneaking around this place. Think of it as a test. I want to see how determined you are. I've spent far too much time at your home, but hopefully I'll see you again soon.
As the Duke turned to leave, Alessandra couldn't help but fear what awaited her at his home. Was he truly taking her seriously? Or was this just another test to mock her? But as she turned to follow, she froze.
We shall see. Oh, Duke Edgar!
Kate's blood boiled as she saw Alessandra with the Duke. Her father had arranged the ball for Kate to entice the wealthy Duke. After all, Kate believed she was the prettiest girl in the kingdom. But seeing her disfigured stepsister standing at his side, it set off a wave of alarm.
I hope she has not offended you, Duke Edgar. She was not supposed to be out here.
Kate glared at Alessandra, warning her to run away. Edgar stopped right beside Kate.
She has not offended me. Not like your father has.
Thank goodness. She can...
It might be due to me being an only child, but shouldn't you be referring to her as your sister, or maybe even her name?
Edgar quickly picked up that the younger girl did not like the older one. Seeing the Duke speaking to her sister, Alessandra used this chance to run away before any of them would ask her to speak. Edgar listened quietly to the sound of Alessandra running away, while Kate tried to think of a good answer to what he had asked her. He wondered what Alessandra was so afraid of when it came to Kate.
You are correct, Duke Edgar. You see, when siblings argue, we tend to do petty things to one another. But I do love my sister. But, as you can see, she is extremely shy and can be awkward at times. That is why I was concerned that she might have offended you.
Kate put on her mask of being a good sister. She would do anything to make the Duke see she was a good person. There was no one else she saw worthy of being her husband.
You see, Duke, I had hoped for some alone time between the two of us. I wish to show you that I could make an excellent choice for your wife.
Edgar was annoyed with Kate, who could not take a hint.
What is it with this misconception that I am only looking for a wife that pleases me in bed?
You visit the district.
Edgar shrugged his shoulders, not seeing what that had to do with his future wife.
And what if I were to go there to read a book?
It is awfully loud there.
Enlighten me. How do you know of how loud it is there? What on earth would the Baron's daughter be doing in a place like that? Except for listening to gossip of what others do there.
No, you are misunderstanding.
Kate tried to clear it up right away. She had never visited such a place.
Understand this, Kate. What you are doing now will never entice me. Besides, I've already received a better offer.
My lord!
There are plenty of other suitors to come and rescue you, princess. Excuse me.
As the Duke left Kate on the ground, fury burned within her. What better offer could he possibly mean?
No, go away! Nobody humiliates me like that. No one!
Kate's mind raced. Could it be Alessandra's offer that had caught his attention? Alessandra ran as fast as she could, as if her very life depended on it. She knew what Kate was capable of.
Tell anyone I did this, and next time I'll kill you.
But what if the Duke reveals everything to her? Alessandra's heart raced. She hurried into her room, collecting her one-time meal from the kitchen. She stepped in, thinking how charismatic it was for the Duke not to fear her. For once, someone was accommodating, something she wasn't used to. As she ate, Alessandra glanced at her childhood sketches, naive drawings of a prince who'd rescue her from the shadows. But was the Duke truly her escape? Or would his darkness consume her own? Could this be salvation for two strong-willed souls, or the beginning of a beautiful disaster, she wondered. But the next morning, Alessandra's worst nightmare came true.
Milady, breakfast is here.
Suddenly, Alessandra remembered her conversation with the Duke the previous evening. It was very possible today was the day her life would change forever.
Milady?
What is she still doing here?
Normally, the maid leaves the food by the door. Today, she was practically begging her to come out.
Your breakfast?
Alessandra was confused why her tray had been placed on the floor today if the maid was still standing there. Suddenly, Alessandra felt a crushing pain in her hand.
Good morning, sister.
Just like Alessandra predicted, Kate had been lying in wait.
I said, good morning, sister.
Good morning, Kate.
Run along. Did you have fun last night, Alessandra?
Yes.
Yes?
Kate detected boldness in Alessandra and hated it.
Just because you ran into the Duke last night, you think you had fun?
No. It's not that. I had fun in my room last night. The music reached my room.
Is that so? Tell me, what did you discuss with the Duke last night?
Kate needed to confirm with her own ears nothing serious had happened between the Duke and Alessandra. She'd be humiliated if it turned out he'd taken an interest in Alessandra and not her.
I did not notice him standing there as I was passing by. He called my name when I failed to address him, and then he scolded me, and then you arrived.
Kate wasn't ready to accept this was the full story.
What else?
He spoke about marriage and about you as an option. Nothing more, I swear.
Alessandra couldn't stand the pain, but Kate was still deciding if she believed her stepsister. Kate freed Alessandra's hand. She was pleased Edgar had spoken about her, but she wondered. Why on earth was he playing so hard to get last night when the two of them walked back into the party?
Of course he spoke about me, but who would want to speak to you, freak? In any case, you shouldn't have shown him your face yesterday. What if he'd thought himself cursed? and then came after us in anger. What would you have done then, freak? Do you think you would have been safe?
Kate pushed every ounce of her force into Alessandra's hand to hurt her as much as possible.
Then stay in your room, you miserable...
Kate, stop it this instant!
Desmond Barrett was hardly shocked to see his youngest daughter hurting his eldest.
But father, The Duke saw her last night, and they spoke.
You did? Why didn't the Duke mention this to me? I'll take care of this, Kate. Move along. Now.
Despite the pain in her hand, Alessandra tried to disappear quickly. A dispute with her father was the last thing she needed.
Alessandra, tell me what happened last night between you and the Duke. And why were you out of your bedroom? You know we were having a party. What if someone had seen you?
Nobody came with dinner last night and I was hungry. The garden is off limits. I thought I could run by quickly. That is all, Father.
Alessandra's words weren't enough for Desmond. The Duke seeing her could have ruined Kate's chances of marrying him. And Desmond couldn't afford to let that happen.
Fine. What did you talk about then?
He only asked if he could smoke there and then talk to me about Kate as a marriage candidate.
Really?
He'd been worried Kate did not successfully seduce the Duke last night.
The Duke is a very strange man. He must want to observe her a little longer. This is good. This is very good. Still, you shouldn't have gone out. What if I changed my mind and someone saw you out there?
Alessandra wondered if her father would rather she had starved.
I'm sorry, Father.
Yes, well, no use in scolding you now. Whoever didn't bring your food is to blame. And as for Kate, well, I'm sorry about your hand. She's just thinking about the family. You must get terribly bored being in this room all the time, Tell me, what do you need to pass the time? Tell your father, and I shall go fetch it.
Well, now that you should ask, I've run out of things to paint. I wish to paint the town. Could I possibly take an outing to explore new landscapes? I promise I won't let anyone see my face.
Desmond knew Katrina would never agree with this, but if they kept Alessandra locked away, she would try to leave her bedroom more. He concluded that it was best to give her a little bit of freedom, especially after what Kate did.
Promise me, you won't leave the carriage.
I promise. I would never lie to you, Father.
Alessandra's plan was underway. Alessandra rushed into the carriage, heart pounding. This was what freedom might finally look like.
Word to me, lady.
Duke Edgar Collins' estate.
Meanwhile, the Duke stood waiting, restless, unmoving. He wasn't a man used to waiting. Women usually vied for his attention, hung on his every word. But this one, she'd left him wondering, and still he waited. What was she about to say before Kate interrupted? Was it a yes or a no? His jaw tensed, hands clasped behind his back, eyes locked on the horizon through the towering windows. He should have walked away, and yet, why was he still drawn to her?
Your breakfast.
Alfred found it odd that the Duke was not seated at his desk as he normally was.
Good morning, Alfred. Has anyone come to see me this morning?
Are you expecting someone, sir? Should I prepare breakfast for them?
Edgar thought if all went as planned, his home would finally have a lady again. The first since his mother.
I am not entirely sure. I extended an invitation to someone last night, but she has yet to arrive.
What?
She might become the lady of this house.
Duke Edgar was curious to see if Alessandra really would visit him. She was never seen out in public, so her coming all the way here to make a marriage contract with him was an intriguing prospect.
I do not plan to get married. Just the woman last night, she was so intriguing. And it would the king and ward off anybody from surrounding me.
I do not understand. How could the lady's coming the king and ward off others?
It will be self-explanatory if she were to come today.
How long has it been since...
Something was definitely amuck outside, but what exactly was it? Alfred rushed over, concerned. It was unlike any maid to hurry toward him, let alone hand him a note.
Someone's seen a ghost.
Alfred started to read the paper.
Oh my. It appears we are in for a surprise, sir. The Lady Alessandra Barrett wishes to have an audience with you.
Duke Edgar was pleasantly surprised Alessandra had come, and earlier than he'd expected.
Well, invite her into my study.
Yes.
Alessandra Barrett. Interesting person you are.
Edgar wanted to be the judge if Baron Desmond truly had nothing to do with Alessandra wanting to get married to him. Their meeting could very well have been orchestrated. He told the Baron he was going out to smoke, and Alessandra conveniently appeared. And the only thing making Edgar believe this might not be a coincidence was the Baron not sending his younger daughter, Kate. Alessandra had arrived. She wasn't sure if this was the right choice, but she was desperate to escape, and no one dared cross the Duke, which made her wonder, what was she walking into?
No wonder he's the biggest catch to get married. Duke's filthy rich.
Large doors of Edgar's home opened up, revealing a man in butler clothes.
Welcome, Alessandra Barrett. The Duke is expecting you.
Alfred made sure not to stare at her mask, so as not to be rude.
Come. I'll lead the way.
Alessandra was breathless. Trading her prison for a vast estate felt unreal. And when she saw the Duke shared her love for painting, she wondered, was he the perfect match? Or were they two swords that couldn't rest in the same sheath?
He's in here.
Alfred did not know how Edgar and Alessandra had gotten to the point of wanting to marry one another, but he could tell how nervous she seemed. He smiled to ease her fears. After all, he was starting to like having her around. Alessandra felt her heart skip a beat when the door closed behind her.
I wasn't expecting you to show up. But if you did, breakfast time wasn't my guess.
Was I meant to come in the night? As a thief would?
Her boldness shocked him. He had meticulously orchestrated every condition in the contract, details Alessandra hadn't even considered. He saw her desperation to escape, and he made sure she wouldn't turn it into an advantage.
Let's get on to business, shall we?
Alessandra's eyes scanned the paper. Every clause was designed to grant her freedom. Freedom from her cruel family, from years of humiliation. But then, one line shattered her breath. The Duke is... The wife shall never demand any form of physical intimacy. For years, she had dreamed of escaping. But in that dream, she had always imagined holding her own child one day. A family she never had. Now, the price of her freedom was giving up that dream forever. But was that all? Or was this clause hiding something far more dangerous? The Duke's eyes watched her, calm, mysterious. Her hand trembled as she reached for the pen. Why would a powerful duke offer such a contract? Is his impotence real or part of a deeper, darker secret? Did Alessandra just buy her freedom or step into a trap she'll never escape from? When the truth comes out, will she survive it?
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.